If you haven't heard already, they found in Egypt these coil-like structures that make scientists believe that maybe the pyramids were actually energy generators. Obviously, if you're spiritual, you're not new to this. We've all kind of concluded that there's something a little bit supernatural or otherworldly about the Giza pyramids. Did you know that the Giza pyramids actually align perfectly well, and I mean perfectly well, with the Orion constellation? And by Orion's constellation, I specifically mean the Orion's belt. We've all watched Ancient Aliens right when we're bored at night, and it's on the History Channel. But here is an explanation from a spiritual standpoint, and from people like me who have really delved into the spiritual realm for like 4, 5, 10, 20 years. The ancients back then were not stupid. They were not some cavemen people using rudimentary technology. No, it wasn't that. They were advanced beyond our knowledge. And on top of that, they had a little help. Allegedly, I have to say allegedly because this video might get taken down. They had a little help from extraterrestrials. Some scientists who think a bit out of the box say that these pyramids were built likely using sound technology. Now, if you're unaware, the sound vibration, if hit towards an object, the right frequency, the object will start to levitate, and this is how you can get things to float. There's also a theory that they use magnetism to build these things because these rocks were way too heavy. And we've all seen orgonites, right? Orgone technology. They also have this copper wire in the center that spirals. These in the spiritual community and the metaphysics community, these are energy generators. And what do these coils look like? These supposed coils that they found under the pyramids. There is no coincidence here, in my opinion. I think these technologies were universal because at some point, civilizations became so advanced that it was just common sense. Everybody knew these things. But this brings me back to the Orion constellation. Why was it pointed directly at Orion's constellation? And here is the more wonky alien extraterrestrial spiritual explanation. There was a galactic war that was happening for millions of years. And Earth were these aliens' precious cargo. Everybody wanted Earth because Earth was the Garden of Eden. It was a petri dish that was full of species, wildlife, vegetation, from all different types of planets concentrated in one little planet called Earth. Also, Earth is an anagram for heart, which I will get to in my other videos. It's also very spiritually important. These galactic wars actually were called the Orion Wars because it was the most prominent in the Orion constellation. This is where you get the Bible lore of fallen angels. These fallen angels are actually higher dimensional aliens that decided to go against the word of source of God. They did not want to unite as one anymore. They wanted to colonize. This is why these fallen angels or fallen angles of light, because higher dimensions also have light. And if you come to the lower dimensions, like third or fourth density, which is where we live here, you're technically a fallen angle of light. These fallen angels were like, well, Earth is ours, and these little creatures that you have here called humans, these are ours too. And I believe that these pyramids were pointed directly at Orion's gate because these pyramids were likely also stargates or energy channels that could pull in energy or communicate with whatever is in these constellations. Because this looks way too technological. This really looks like a powerhouse, a generator, something, some kind of technology. I wouldn't be surprised if this was some kind of Stargate that helped interdimensional aircrafts land. You're probably wondering why they were so interested in humanity and Earth. Well, it's because humans, we did not used to look like this. We were a lot less hominid and a lot less hairy. The original humans, according to a lot of religious and spiritual texts, I'm talking like ancient texts, allude to the fact that human beings, we had different DNA. We were light beings. We were much more angelic in our DNA. We had telepathic powers. We were extremely spiritual, extremely tuned in with Earth. And the fallen angels were jealous of that. This is why in the Bible it says that, or I'm paraphrasing, fallen angels were jealous of humans because we had a DNA source code that they do not have. We were precious cargo. And so they decided to mess with our DNA, and this is why you have so many hints and clues of just extremely advanced extraterrestrial civilizations that surpass what we have right now. And they were washing away our history on purpose so we cannot figure out exactly what happened back then because everybody knew what was happening back then. Now, if you're curious to learn more about the true galactic history of humanity, what we are truly capable of, why do these fallen angels hate us so much, why are we stuck in this matrix, my book, Made in God's Image, talks about everything you need to know because unfortunately my TikTok got banned 3 times because I just talk too much.